Here's a view for you. I've told you many times about my buddy Daryl. Daryl's given me birds. He's helped me with my birds. I've done a couple things for him because I enjoy doing things for my friends. And this is the view he's got here in Martinsburg, West Virginia. This is his backyard. There's his loft. Look at this view. You talk about seeing for fireworks, you get the best view around here because you see everything. It's huge, big view, big sky. Hardly any trees. And we're gonna surprise Daryl today. Do a little get around and talk to him about his birds. We're gonna see some of his birds fly. This is Daryl Young, lives in Martinsburg, West Virginia. Isn't this beautiful? Look at the sky. A little cloudy today. He's got some awesome rollers, comes from his friend, I believe in Baltimore. We're gonna find out a little bit about that today. And we're gonna learn about some pigeons. Y'all stay with me and we will learn what's going on around here. You might recognize this kit box. I built this. Daryl put it back together, made it work. Look at these. These are just some of his birds. Beautiful. These are all young ones. Look at that. Another kit box. You can see a hawk coming from miles. It's Mr. Daryl's house. Mr. Daryl, how are you today?
I'm all right, thank you. Thank you for asking.
Thanks for letting me come by and check out your birds today. Hope you don't mind if I ask you a few questions. I'd really love to see some fly.
Oh, sure, no problem, no problem. Now, you gotta excuse me, I'm a little sweaty because I just finished cleaning the coop out. You know, I do that about once or twice a month. Sure, I mean, questions, ask.
Okay, let's start with your rollers.
Yes, sir.
Your rollers are, you say you get them from your buddy, your mentor out of Baltimore.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to share his name or?
Sure, I had no problem. I'm sure he wouldn't either. His name is Steve Agent.
Steve Agent.
The way I was told is, now I may not know it word for word, the way I was told is that Steve, over 20 years or so ago, he took a trip to California. And when he went there, his main goal was to get with Norm Reed and get some birds from Norm Reed to breed off of and fly. So he did that. And how many he brought back with him, I don't know quite. Maybe 20 each, 10 pairs, or 20 pairs. I don't know exactly the number, and I know it's 20. So the way he tells me is that he flew with Norm, told him to put together for his mates, and he flew the youngs, and it wasn't to his quite satisfactory. They was good, but they wasn't quite to his satisfaction. So what he did, he bred them to the way he would thought would be nice. And ever since then, it's been history. He been flying on the East Coast here, and he stopped competing because there was no more competition for him. He done beat everybody, wasn't nobody there to compete against, so he just started breeding, flying on his own, and I hooked up with him through a site, and I went down Baltimore, because that's where I'm from, and I met him, and him and I talked, and he educated me, and he's still educating me on not only this bloodline, but about pigeons and all. So I'm still a student.
Okay, now people don't know how we met, but I actually went into a feed store locally and you had put up an ad for some pigeons for sale.
Yes.
And I wasn't interested in looking for pigeons, but I was interested in meeting some fellow flyers in the area, and we've been friends ever since.
Yes,
I remember when I first met you, we were talking about these birds. You had actually sent me pictures of the trophies that these birds had actually won.
yes, those are the pictures from his house.
Which was really impressive.
Right, and I didn't see all of them that day because these trophies he had upstairs. He had just as many down in his basement that I never made it down to see that particular day. But I took pictures of the ones that he did have upstairs.
And these birds are offspring of these same
Yes,
birds.
they are. Yes, they are.
And you've been doing this for how long?
I want to say now, and I've been here for almost 4, so I want to say close to 10 years now.
With this bloodline?
With this bloodline, about 9.
About 9.
Because what I did is that I brought birds, regular rollers, and I trained myself. I got myself used to feeding them, watering them, tending to them, cleaning behind them and things like this, medicating them and things like this. I did that with just regular rollers, flying them and learning how to do it with those. Then I got rid of those and I went 100 with these here. This is 100 right here. There's no mix in this here. These are all the same bloodline. And the way that my mentor showed me is that I was down his house. I had gave him some birds to fly. I wanted to get his judgment. And I come down his house. He flew the birds that I had sent down. And he said, see, these are all one bloodline. I said, yeah, he said, no, look at the way they flap their wings. There's none going fast. They all at the same pace. He said, that's how you could tell a bloodline also in the air. That's something you could keep for yourself, man.
So, do you think that if you would compete that you could?
I think I could be up in there.
Think you could be up in there?
Yes, sir.
I believe you could. I was showing them. I was showing my subscribers your yard when I got up here.
Yes.
The big sky you have. Now, coming from the big city, like you're talking Baltimore and places around here,
yes,
it's hard to find a spot like you have.
Well, thank you. Yes,
This is the most awesome spot for flying rollers that there is.
well, thank you.
Which we're gonna fly some here
Yes.
really soon. I don't know if you want to explain some of your birds you have in these boxes. What's the difference? Why you have them separated from others? Or you're inside the loft. I don't know if you want to show us in there and show us.
Well, yeah,
these are your breeders, I believe.
Yes, in the coop itself, as you know, they molted, so I got a lot of stuff hanging around.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody deals with that right
Yeah,
now.
I didn't vacuumed up and all kinds. But first and foremost, I had this coop built by the Amish. It's just a regular shed, but I designed it to fit my need. I had them put the door center of the coop. I had them put 2 small windows on each side. Because when you go inside here, what I had a friend of mine named Paul, he helped me. I divide it. And what I do is I keep my cocks on this side and my hens on this side. My breeding season is over. I'm throwing eggs away. I got a couple of chicks still in the nest about to come out. Once they come out, I'm separating cocks from hens. And that'll be until I go back to breeding. And I normally put them together the first of the year. In January 1 is when I normally put my cocks, my pairs together.
And you've pretty much run them up till just recently.
Till recently, yeah. I went a little deeper than normal this season on breeding. I bred 120 rollers. Yeah, I usually breed 50. Guys from California, upstate New York, they all wanted my youngs, and they go through Steve. See, I don't know the people. My mentor knows the people. They still come to him about do he have, and he gets with me. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't know the people. It'll take a while for them to build the trust in me, but they already got that trust in him, and he got trust in me, and he know what I got here is 100% bloodline. So that's how that works. And yeah, I went a little large this year because, like he told me, is that it's gonna be some people who's really wanting something. So that's why he encouraged me to go a little deeper than I normally do, and that's what I did. And I got a kit of third round in here. The first 2 rounds sold. 2 guys in California who are 20 each. This is my 3rd round in here. I got some on the other side, which is my 4th round. And those on top there, they are part of the 5th round, and what little I do have left in here is part of the 5th round, the 5th and final round.
They're all top-notch birds. I love going in there looking at all the different colors, and I've learned a lot from Daryl. He actually gave me some birds, I think it was last year, and I took them home, and somehow or another the cage popped open and they got loose, and we're not going to try that again.
No.
People were calling Daryl, telling him, hey, I got your birds, and it was in another city down the road, and it was all my fault. But anyway, can I walk in your loft real quick and show, you said the cock side's on the left and the hens are on the right?
The cocks, well, not right now. They all paired up.
Okay.
That's what I do when I step.
Let's see if I can get this a little closer. Use some of your... That's what we got in here. Look at these colors. These birds. Gorgeous.
And these are the basic colors of Norm Reed. He does have light torts, which I have. He does have dark checks and bars. And he also, and that's it. He does have a lot of, he does have reds as well. And
Try to get in here.
these are basic colors that I have. I do have one Millie hen in there, but that's part of their colors as well.
Aren't they gorgeous? Nice loft.
Breeding homers in here as well.
Okay.
All right. What I have here is a kickbox. I got 16 in here now that I'm flying. I had 20. A friend of mine wanted to get a couple of them, so I gave him a couple of them. And what I have up top here are youngs that I just moved over from the coop. I want them to see what goes on. You know, put them up top so they can see around and get acquainted with what's going on around here. Right now we're ready to let out, so here we go.
Let these birds see how good they got it around here.
Come on. Let's go. There you go.
Norm Reed rollers.
They get hot right away. And then they get it together. These are damn fun with.
They sure fill up the sky quick, don't they?
They get ready to close it up.
Yeah, they are
They
too.
closing it up now. Come out, get their spin in, but then they start acting a fool.
Sure hope you can see them in the camera. Like I said, you can daggone sure a hawk come from a mile away if you need to. Look at the sky background. You cannot beat this.
They haven't been.
There they go. There they go.
That's what you call a waterfall.
It's raining. Look, raining in the sky. The waterfall effect, is that what it is, Daryl?
It's called a waterfall. When 5 or more go. There you go. Hope you can get that.
They're kind of blending in with the clouds now. They'll be back.
Out in 2 days. They gonna-
So what round is this that are in the sky right now?
Huh?
Which round?
Oh, this is 4th round.
This is 4th round?
No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's 3rd round.
3rd round.
4th
Look at,
round on the other side.
do your neighbors know what's going on around here? You
Oh,
think
yeah.
they sit outside and watch this?
Yes, I have my neighbors to the right there in the White House. They have a little boy, and
Wait
they
till-
sit out on the deck at times, and you can hear him oohing and ahhing.
You'd be the first one trying to come over here and get some birds.
Yeah, neighbors down the hill there, they come up. The kids, they come up and talk with me at times when I had the birds. They done went for a fly. Where they at? I don't even see.
They're on the other side of the trees over there.
They done gone for a
All
fly.
I've seen specks.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll be back.
Like I said, I'm training these. So they've been up there back and forth almost a week now. This right here is my kit box for my homers.
Gotcha.
These homers here are homers I received from my mentor again, Steve Agent. And I got white ones in here. I got a silver red bar in here. And they go for miles. I've taken them down into the state of Virginia and released them. I took them over into Maryland, released them in all different parts, different directions. And they're back. And like my friend tell me, if none make it back, that was just Mother Nature getting rid of the trash.
Well, just like a few weeks ago, I remember I was telling you I was heading to Boonesboro. I had a group of 4 birds go over there, white and silver looking, and they were heading in a certain direction. I said, that's somebody's pigeons right there.
Yeah.
Come to find out, at the end of the day, Daryl had released them, and I'd caught them going across the sky as I was going down the road. It was a really heck of a coincidence. But they were heading home, that's for sure.
They get busy now. They some strong flyers. Strong flyers. I mean, you got different groups of homers. The way I was taught, you got the long distance homers, which are bigger birds. Their wingspan is much larger. And then you got a medium bird, which these are. They fly like 500, 750 miles. The big birds go like 750 to 1,000 miles. The way I was told, and what I've read up on, is that a homing pigeon can go as far as 2,000 miles and come home. They got a strong instinct. What it is, I don't know. I'm not trying to get into that. People how about it's the center of the earth.
I've heard they hear the oceans on each side, and a lot of different stories on that.
Just the way you treat them. My boy, he's inside. I bred off of him. I had him flying from my coop, but I got it from my mentor Steve down in Baltimore. One weekend we was gone. The wind blew my cage. That's why I got bungee cords on it. The wind blew my settling cage over, and some kind of way he had got out. And he hung around for a day or so. Couldn't get back in. Couldn't figure out how to get back in. So you know what he did? He went back to Baltimore. Now I flew him for a long time, but he remembered. He shot back to Baltimore. And my man called me when I got home. He said, "Daryl, you missing the bird?" I said, "I don't know, man. I'm just getting home. See my stuff blown." He said, "He down here." I said, "All right." When I got him from him, he gave me a hymn to make with him, keep him steady.
Yeah, we hear Steve sold that bird 10, 15 times and on eBay.
Yeah. Now around here, Tarek, they gone for a while. I didn't think that they would, but by them not being out a couple of days because of the rain and the weather it was, that's the way that is. Here, this kit box I got from Mr. Tarek,
That's right.
and I just went on. I appreciate him, getting with me on it.
I see it still staying together. Yeah, I've seen you did some modifications to the bottom there. Got some
Yeah,
dump trays.
I put some drawers on there on both sides.
Birds coming back.
They coming back. And catch that droppings and all. I put up more perches. I put a settling cage up. And like I said, I use these bungee cords to really keep it tacked. Because the hawk do come around.
That's right.
And I got little hooks up top where I mounted up on 2 hooks.
And these are all rollers that. Have you flown these guys yet?
Oh yeah, I was.
Do you ever fly the groups together and they go back in their lofts, or their?
Yeah.
So they know their own.
Yeah,
They do separate.
Yes, sir.
That shows a smart bird.
Yes.
Mine aren't that smart. That's why I had to come over here today and get some insight on a real flyer because I've been doing terrible lately.
I'm not a real fly. But yeah,
I don't know, your stuff is
I got
impressive.
Young homers that's in here, and I got trained here. I fly them with the big boys. But that's how I was taught to train. Steve told me. He said, "You got your young birds, your young homers trained to come here?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Now take them out with your big birds. Not too far right off the bat, but take them out and let them fly with them. That way they learn how to kick together, stay together." And that's just what they do. They fly with them, and they come back. When they come back, they go in here and they go in there.
So what made you start flying pigeons? Where did you get bit with this bug?
I was bit when I was a kid, man.
Did you have them when you were young?
I didn't have them for say like I have them now in my yard, because I lived in the city. I lived in row houses, and we had a concrete backyard, but my dad and mom wouldn't allow me to have a coop. So what I did, I had friends that had coop and was able to, to build coops in their yard. So that's who I palled up with, was my boy's dad. And I was bit since I was about 6 years old, man. And I did it for a couple of years. And then I started growing. I had a growth spur. And I mean, not just height, but wideness. And I always was athletic. So I was bigger than I am now. And I played ball. I started playing ball. And that was my second love, was playing that ball. But I set the pigeon to the side for a while. I never forgot about it. And when I went through teenage age, you know, the girls and high school ball and being the player that I used to be.
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
Sports, that's what we're talking about
Yeah,
here.
sports. The player, basketball, football stuff. Yeah. That once I got my own place, talked with my wife. I said, baby, you know, I'm home a lot. I like to know if I can build a coop or something.
I know you didn't ask for permission.
Yes, I did. I'm not
Smart
ashamed to
man.
say it.
Smart
Yes, I
man.
did.
I'm
And,
sure we've all done
she-
that before.
She not too many. And I started off with a rabbit hutch. I had a rabbit hutch. And I put a settling cage on top of it. I had them come out and go up in the settling cage. That wasn't big enough. And I built a 4x4 with a 4-foot door, opened the whole front. Oh man, I had some dynamite birds then. That's when I first got this bloodline. Oh my God. I was flying 35, 40 at the time.
It's funny how this is one sport, one hobby we get into, and all it seems to do is grow.
Yeah.
You never see anybody start big and go small.
Yeah, she gave me this little area we looking at. My wife did. So when we built the house, I said, how close or where should I put my coop? So I was trying to get up there. She walked down here and said, yeah, this far now. So as you see, I got a pad under the coop there. All the rest of it just came along with it. I added that. I got to redo it.
That's just far enough away from the house and yet still close enough to keep an eye on you.
Yes. And
That's
when
right.
we were building it, I had the builders bring out electrical to the coop. I got electric in there. I got lights and all.
That's great.
And I had them also, as you see here, I had them pour the water out here also.
Two things I need at my house.
Didn't want to run no water hose from all the way up there down here, so I got that put in as well. And they dug it deep enough that it don't freeze anyway.
What's your biggest enjoyment that you get out of?
Oh, I'll get my chair. Yeah, I get. See my tree right there, my shady tree.
There's a shady tree. Probably the only tree in his yard.
That's a lot of shade.
But like I said, look at the sky. This is a skyline. This is what money will do for you.
I get my folded up chair. I don't know where they at, guys.
They were over there a second ago, but I think they're in the clouds.
Yeah,
They started coming
you know,
back.
Do you know that rollers are off the tipplers?
Or off tipplers.
Yeah,
I've heard people training flying rollers with their homers for miles.
well, they probably do that, but
There's a
I read somewhere that rollers are rollers, true, but they also have tippler in them. And I noticed that with a lot of birds that I do fly, they do go up, they go dot.
Here they are.
Yeah, they dot.
Do you have any favorite YouTube videos that you watch? Any?
I watch everybody.
You know who Danny is?
Yeah.
The old man Danny
Yeah,
out of
North
Raleigh.
Carolina.
He's the one to he tells a lot of good stories if anybody's interested.
Danny Humphrey. Yeah. And then you got Turner. I had some Turner birds when I first started. I had brought 8 Turner birds, $200, 25 a pop. I brought 8 Turner birds, and that's before I got with this bloodline. Like I said, I had different bloodlines. Bloodlines I didn't know nothing about. I just had rollers, just learning how to tend to them. And that's what I did until I decided to settle in to one bloodline, and that's where I'm at.
Well, seems to me like you got one of the best lines out there.
Well, thank you.
I'm sure anybody would agree. If anybody that knows about these birds, and Baltimore's a big place. A lot of people fly out of Baltimore. A lot of rooftop stuff, just like the bigger cities. I have a buddy named Paulie. He's from On the Go Loft. He's out of New York,
Right, I know. I
New
watch
York,
his
New
videos.
Jersey.
I watch his videos.
He's actually given me some birds. I met him at Lancaster a year before last. Really good guy.
Right. Well, I got the guys, my man Carlos, King Catch Keith. He's up out of New York. Him, Ralph. I met them all at the Redding's, pigeon show. I brought some tipplers from Carlos. I had at my other house. I had some of his tipplers, some cat tipplers I brought from him. And I told him at that time, I said, yeah, I want what do they call it? Blue, well, and I like this one. He said I asked for a pair of blacks. He gave me a pair of blacks, and I forgot the kind, but they was nice. I liked them.
It's kind of hard to remember all these different everything.
But yeah, every show that I went to, I ran into them at. Yeah, and the one that I just missed, you left before I got there. What was it, 19? Was it 19? Up in Reading?
Yeah, I've been the last couple ones that they had. They didn't have this past one because of COVID.
Well, it's COVID, right. So it was in 19. Matter of fact, my friend and I, John, him and I, we rode up together. And I ran into them up there. Matter of fact, I got pictures of them.
Seems to me like Mr. Daryl, you're gonna need your own YouTube channel here soon. You see, you have a lot to share with people, and you Dax your own, teach some people some things, and I'm sure that you would be somebody's mentor, and they would really look up to you for that. Like you said, there's a lot of kids that would it'd be nice to get some more kids involved. Like you said, your neighbor's son watching. You know, there's probably one day might be coming over here.
Yeah.
Pair of pigeons might start a whole new ball game for somebody.
Yeah, they got the land for it. I tell you that, because I tell you, you know, as you know, in the city, and those know that in the city, you don't have this. You don't have this. You don't have, you know, acres of land that you could do whatever. And if you ever had an interest in it, let me know. I mean, I'm always willing to start somebody off.
Let me also throw in Daryl here. I don't know if it works at the VA, taking care of our veterans.
Yes.
So he's a hard worker, and he really cares, and he's a good guy. He's been one of my best friends since I got into this, since I met him. He's always treated me really fair, and he's given me too many birds. I didn't deserve them because they always run away from my house. But I try. You know I try.
I help with those.
That's right.
Help, you know. I was in that category.
Keep trying to get the pigeons.
They won't come over. They coming down, but they hard headed.
Can't you just whistle for them? They'll come to you. They love you that much. I know they do.
Shoot, they haven't been out in 2 days.
See if I can zoom in on them. I can't see them. I know I'm on them. Look at that. I know you can see that.
I don't have.
You can. My eyes are bad.
My birds are bred basically for competition. What I mean by that is that 20 to 25 feet drop is deep enough. That allows them to drop, gather themselves, get back to the kit. Drop, gather themselves, because that's where they get points, is their roll, their style of roll, their spin, whether you see a hole, whether they spin it in the A-frame or H-frame, or whichever way they spin it, as long as they spin it straight, not sideways and whatnot. But I noticed that a lot of people that I look at their YouTube, they talk about depth. They talk about 40, 50 feet and all this here. I'm like, I'm not into the competition, but I do like my birds to drop and then get back. Drop, get back. I don't want them to drop too far down and hustle or miss getting back to the kit.
It seems like if they drop too far, it would just take the other birds would keep on. It would take too long to get back up into the group. And that the whole purpose of these, I guess, in the competitions is as a group.
Yeah, that's what they
sticking together. As you can see, they're in a tight ball right now. I'm hoping you can see this. I believe you can. Watch them. Watch them.
They got, once they drop, they got so many seconds to get back to the kit. You see, I think it's like 30 seconds that they have to get back to the kit. If they drop too deep and they don't get back to the kit in that period of time, then you don't get no point.
So Daryl, you shipping any more birds out?
Not at the moment, unless somebody wants some.
So if somebody that watches this video decides they might want some of these birds to get through me, to get to you.
Yes, do that.
I don't know if you want to give your information, probably not.
I have no problem with you. If you know someone.
Well, I mean, if they contact me, I could tell them.
Right.
Or.
Tell them, give them my number.
Gotcha.
Name and number.
Serious replies only, because these are not junk birds, and I'm sure they're not cheap.
No,
But you don't want cheap birds.
No.
You don't want junk, because you just waste your money.
you just waste your money. And if you were to get birds that
And Daryl's going to demonstrate sitting back in his chair here in a second. Oh, thank you, Daryl.
oh yeah, let me show where they at.
Let me
Okay.
see what Daryl does when Terry's not here bothering him.
I'm waving at my family because they just did great leave.
They just pulled up. Driving that big Cadillac up there. Yep. Can't mess with money.
My bird poop chair.
This is his chair. This is the sky again. Look at this sky. Look at this view.
Pull out my cell phone. Hello.
I've got a big yard too. Mine's surrounded by trees. Once they go over the trees, I can't see nothing. And this is Daryl enjoying himself. Any last words you want to say to anybody, Daryl? I appreciate you letting me come out here and do this video. Like I said, I needed some good pigeon content.
This is what I do, baby. I sit like this and I look at my birds, do what they do while I listen to some music. You know, this is all I do. The sun be back there, my shaded tree be putting shade on me.
Got to get some caterpillars in the tree gonna be on you here soon.
That's why I ain't that far under there. I won't fall on me.
Well, I needed some good pigeon content. I really appreciate you letting me come out here and do a little video on this. I plan to bring some more. I would really like to head out to Steve's house with you someday. Maybe he would let me do a video on him.
Yeah, I'll talk with him. I'll get with him about that. And
It'd be a nice trip. I'd like to, maybe I could learn some more stuff about these birds.
oh yeah.
Because I might have to change up here soon, maybe get into some rollers and homing pigeons. I got them. I was going to race them, but it's not going to happen.
I mean,
So if I just want to enjoy
it
watching.
used to be, I say to you this, what really bust me upside my head to get back into the pigeon was that I was over at a friend's house and in town in Martinsburg, and his neighbor was a young guy named Jason. And Jason had 8 foot by 8 foot wide coop divided in the middle with a sliding door. And I'm over at my friend's house and I look, I seen some birds, some pigeons. I said, man, you got some birds over there. And that stirred me up. I got with him. He had the rabbit hutch that I said I used. He had a rabbit hutch. I got the rabbit hutch from him and put it in my other backyard where I used to live. And it was off and running. I ran into a gentleman named Mr. Nelson. He lived down on Shepherdstown Road. He had racing homes. He told me he used to tear the fur off of people because he raced from the eastern shore of Maryland across the mountains back over here, and he used to tear them up. And he was an older guy. I don't know. I lost track of where he's at now. Whether he's still living or whatnot, I don't know. I know he moved from there. His son living there now, but that's what got me into it as well. That was like an addition to me getting back into the game, into the, sorry about that, hobby. This is a hobby.
Yeah, game's a totally different thing.
Totally.
Any famous last words before we wrap this up? Because I know the video is gotten to be a pretty good amount of video, but it's very informative, and I really love to listen and learn. And
Well, I just want to let my fellow pigeon friends and all know is that the name of my loft is Young's Loft, and I tried to do the video YouTube. I'm not good with it, and I appreciate my friend, my brother that is, Terry, coming and do this with me. And I've been wanting to get out there to let people know what it is that I do have. And like I say, I do not overbreed. I want that spin and that what you see here to stay within. I don't want it to be all thinned out and I bred this hen too many times or this. I don't like that. I'm learning how to breed just enough and still keep the quality of the spin and all into my bird.
well, appreciate you letting me come out, Daryl.
Hey,
You
you're welcome.
deserve to get out there. You've done really well with your birds. I've been really impressed since I've known you.
Thank you.
and I've told everybody. I've mentioned you on YouTube many times
Yeah,
before,
I caught it.
and
I'm listening. I'm looking. I heard you. I appreciate
I think
it.
now I'll put the name with the face, and everybody knows I wasn't joking around when I said my buddy Daryl's got some good birds. Obviously, you can see them up there, the big group. They're nice and tight. They're just dropping like raindrops. There they go again. If he was competing, I think you guys would be in a lot of trouble. Maybe he'll let me go meet his mentor. He's going to talk to him, and we're going to make a trip to Baltimore maybe here soon.
You got people that feed competition birds a certain way. I'm not into that. I'm sorry. I feed my birds, all my birds, the homers and all, one breed of feed. One brand, one breed. You know, they got different mixture of feed out here. I feed them one kind. And everybody get the same.
And you can tell.
Got feed that will make these birds stay lower, won't range out as far. And you got feed like I got, I just feed them. And they do what they do. They naturally do what they do.
Yeah, if you have to start feeding your animals certain feeds to make them do certain things, if you had to feed them something special to make them do what they do naturally, as well as they do this naturally around here. I've been here before and watched these birds. It's a little cloudy today, and they're out there kicking it.
Yeah, they love this kind of weather.
But they do awesome when you watch them. And it's been a great day. It's nice and cool. You know, Daryl's over here sweating because he's been working hard cleaning his loft like he always does.
That's right, babe. I keep it clean. I clean it, and I got waterproof through it, so that they poop or whatever, it's great right out.
You can learn a lot from Daryl, that's for sure. Appreciate you guys watching. Like this video, share, subscribe this video, and Daryl,
Yes.
thank you very much.
I just want to shout out to all the brothers and sisters. Don't get it twisted.
You don't see many sisters. You don't see many
They're
women
out
with
there.
pigeons.
You got to look at them YouTube videos. There's a young lady up in New York. She got birds. Your boy, I think he even know, what's his name?
Paulie?
Yeah, I think he know a young lady up there that got birds.
Paulie's a really good guy. He runs a nice business out of New York.
Yeah,
Transport company.
right.
I think it's called On The Go Transport Company. If you ever need something moved, he's got trucks and vans and everything to get that done.
I met my man up in New York. What is it? His Black Tipless. I met him at the show. My man Charlie. I met him. Like I said, I met Ralph. I met Carlos. I met some of the guys from up there. I met a lot of the guys that you choose. I look at. And, it's a shame that the world is going through what it's going through as far as with this pandemic, to where as though we as bird hobbies can't get together like we used to
Yeah.
in these different places. You know? But I pray that things get better and we could get out here and do what we do.
Yes, it's really nice to congregate, but at the same time, like you got Daryl's chair out here. He's listening to his music.
Yes, sir.
He's sitting in one of the most beautiful places in this area. If you know Martinsburg, you know a lot of it's kind of shady, but he's on the outskirts of it in one of the most nicest spots. Every time I come down the road, I almost hit a deer just driving to his house. So it's really out here. Like I said, the most beautiful sky you ever seen in this area. It's the most beautiful view I've seen around here, unless you get on top of the mountain.
It is a beautiful view. Yeah.
And then you got to look at a lot of houses and junk. This is not it. This
You
is
don't
great.
see that many.
We're gonna wrap this up, and
We can said that 3-4 times now, but we're gonna wrap it up.
well, I'm having so much fun with this. It's kind of hard to walk away,
I thank you for that. I thank you for that.
but
They still ain't come back. Oh, there you go.
this is Terry over here at Hidden Hollow, over here at Daryl Young's loft,
Young's Law.
and I'm gonna wrap this up and say goodbye to Daryl. I got things to do today, and he does too. And y'all have a wonderful day.
Y'all don't look at my 6-pack, man.